4, 3, 2, 1. It's time to count down reality TV's most talked about moments with Amanda Bella. TGIF Bellas, welcome back. It's Amanda Bella here, and thanks for coming back to check out another episode of Bella Talks TV. Again, here I am. I'm just in my office at home, and it's another rainy day here in New York. And just to give everybody a little bit of background too about just what I do outside of this, I'm currently planning a wedding that is also in Las Vegas. So I have a little bit of stress and a lot of Vegas on my mind lately because I have BRAVOCON coming up. I'm getting married in Vegas in April, and I've just been so busy dealing with all of that. So outside of here, it's been a really, really crazy week, but I'm so glad that I'm back here to just talk TV and talk a little bit of shit about some Bravo Lebs before BRAVOCON, because I have a one-track mind right now. First of all, I've been fighting for my life to get a BRAVOCON ticket. I went to BRAVOCON last year. I did not go the first year. I can't remember what was going on. I did live in New York at that time, but was that pre-COVID? Was the first BRAVOCON pre-COVID, and then they put it on pause during COVID, and then they picked it back up last year, and I went last year. I can't remember if that's the exact how it went, or if the last 2 years were actually consecutive. But either way, I did not go the first year. I can't remember why. I'm not sure if it was just something was going on. But last year, it was non-negotiable. I was so excited to go last year, and the whole experience really did live up to my expectations and exceeded it. I had so much fun, and I went alone. And I have no problem going alone to things, music festivals, live podcast shows, dinner. Like, I will go alone. I've always been kind of like that, and I won't let something like not having someone to go with keep me from going to check out a show that I want to see. So I went to BRAVOCON last year by myself, and I had such a blast. I ended up making friends that I still talk to and see to this day. And I can't wait to have the same experience this year. I know that this year's going to be even better, especially with it being in Vegas. When they announced that this next year was going to be in Vegas, I was probably one of the few people that was actually, I don't know, like, I was really happy. I immediately was like, holy shit, this is going to be out of control. This is going to be a shit show. So I go to Vegas a lot. And like I just mentioned, I'm getting married in Vegas. There's a reason for that. It's because me and my fiance, we go there a lot. We love spending time out there. Some people will be like, oh, I can only go to Vegas for 2 days max. Like, we'll go for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We'll stay out there for weeks at a time. We're really lucky to be able to do stuff like that. And we have just places and restaurants and things that we love to do. And it's kind of just like a little spot that we like to go back to because it's so small and everything on the strip there is so accessible. So it's just a really cool place to be. So I immediately knew when they announced BRAVOCON was going to be there, I'm like, this is perfect. It's really mixing my two favorite things, Vegas and Bravo. So I immediately signed up for waitlist. I don't get my ticket right away. I sign up for the wait list, and I was actually pretty confident that at some point they would release more tickets. I'm like, they're maybe just building up the hype. They want to make sure that they sell this out, because for them to move it from New York to Vegas probably was a huge business decision. And I just put a lot of faith into them in the production of this. But I had no idea how hard it was going to be to actually go and get a ticket. So I immediately started this. The day that BRAVOCON tickets went on sale, they went on sale at noon, I think at 12:03. Like, I was queued. I was waiting. I didn't get them. I got waitlisted. I never got any type of email or anything thinking that they were going to release more tickets. I've been waiting patiently. And then finally, a few days ago, and also on top of this, I already have my hotel and my flight booked. So I'm going to BRAVOCON regardless. If I have a ticket or not, I will be flying out there, and I will find Andy on the street or somebody, and I will end up inside there. Because it's crazy to think that how hard it was. Not hard at all to go last year in New York. I decided, I just did the regular normal ticket buying experience last year. So I don't understand why it's so hard. It should have been bigger and easier to get tickets this year. But I finally started to panic. I'm like, I really need to get my ticket. Everything's booked. I'm going. I am also signed up for other events that are going on out there. Like, I have to be there. So started reaching out to people online and trying to get leads for people that have tickets or maybe know somebody who knows somebody. And somebody was like, you're going to have to probably just check out the Facebook groups. And that to me sounds like lower level of hell. Like, I do not want to go trying to find a ticket to something in a Facebook group of people that I don't know. Sounds like scammer city. But I kind of felt like I had no choice. So there I went off into Facebook land. And I did stumble upon, so it took me a while. I had to kiss a few frogs before I found my prince. I had to go through a couple of scammer situations and red flags going off before I started to get smarter about who I was reaching out to, because of course everybody on there is saying that they have tickets available. So it's up to you to look at the profile. Does this person have friends? How many pictures? When were they recently active on their profile? Like, you have to look and make sure that the person that is selling to you is a real person, and do your due diligence to make sure that you're not going to get scammed. So I sifted through a few people. I have a couple of weirdos. I mean, I'm telling you, like, even pictures that have 80-year-old women that look so unsuspecting, it's really a bot or somebody that's behind them. So you have to really click through a few, start chatting with them to make sure it's not just AI on the other end. And I finally found a lady. She, had just posted in the group. So that's another one too, is you want to find somebody too who maybe just joined, because if they're also looking to sell a ticket, they're kind of in the same position. So it's a meeting of the minds here. So she had just gotten on and posted a picture of, the physical wristbands too. You have to make sure that they have a picture of them with the physical wristband, with holding some kind of a receipt with the name, with the order number, with the screenshot of the email. You have to collect things, kind of like a crime scene, of all this different evidence that you're putting together to make sure that you're not going to get scammed. So long story short, I found my girl. She had bought a few wristbands, had several that her friends weren't able to go. She was still going, which also made me feel safe, because she was like, oh, this is where I'm staying, like what I'm going to be doing for the weekend. I'm just helping my friend, sell an extra. And we went through the whole process of, linking up, she had to get my address, and I had to pay for certified mail. And we had to make sure that she was like, well, I don't want to put it in the mail until I've received all the money. I'm like, well, I don't want to send you all of the money until I see it in the mail. So how are we going to do this? We literally had to FaceTime each other while she was at the post office. And I had to Venmo her while she was on the phone with me at the post office. We were doing it at the same time to make sure neither of us were getting scammed. And we did it. I got my BRAVOCON ticket. I'm also signed up to do a couple other really friendly events with some of the other Bravo content creators. I'm going to a Vanderpump Gardens BRAVOCON kickoff dinner, and I'm going to the Chandelier Room at the Cosmo on Saturday night, and there's going to be readings by some other by Stars by Alyssa, who is amazing. If you don't know who she is, Stars X Alyssa. I love a good astrological girly mixed with Bravo. I mean, this is just the best time to be alive, to be a Bravo fan, because you can make this. This is bigger than just watching shows now. This is a whole community of people, friends that you're making from all over the country, the world. And you're getting together to just have a good time and not take things too seriously. So I'm really looking forward to BRAVOCON. Now I can officially say that I'm going to be there now that I got my ticket. And if you're going to be there too, please send me a DM, reach out to me, and let's meet up, because that's what we're doing this for. And I have some iconic Bravo looks. I feel like my fashion's going to be great. A little spoiler alert. I went and found the Judice girls did a collab with Shein. So I may or may not be wearing a Melania Judice fit at BRAVOCON. So it's just going to be so much fun. I can't wait. So I hope everyone will let me know if you're going so we can meet up. And let's get into a little bit more actual TV. So let's talk some TV here. So this was actually kind of like a dark week, I felt like it wasn't a normal, funny, haha, funny week. It was really kind of a dark, all of the shows were a little bit dark and a little bit somber, and even like the tone, like the color tone of the screen felt dark in all of the scenes that I watched all week. And maybe it's because it's fall here in New York now, it's rainy out. I don't know, maybe it just is my mindset also, but it just felt kind of lully this week. But do have some good things that happened that have been on my mind. Another thing that happened this week was Tinsley from Real Houses of New York is now engaged. And I actually did a little, I mean, not that it's like that big of a Google this guy doesn't have much on him, but she got engaged to a guy named Robert Bovar that is in like the steel railroad, maybe steel something business. So I did see a selfie that she took of her ring, and I don't know, like, I just have to be honest. I don't care how much money you really have. Like, if you are, he just sound, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe it is just for her. I guess to each their own. I'm happy that she found love. Like I said, I really have a hard time commenting on other people's engagements and weddings when I'm going through the process. I don't want to put any bad karma out there. But I think that, I don't know. I hope that she just wasn't in a desperate position. I mean, he's recently widowed. I think in the last few years, he has children. And she got like a 15 karat emerald engagement ring. Like, that just is too big. To me, there seems like there's something off here. But I do wish them the best. I just feel like it seems just, I hope that there's more than just him having money. I hope that there's really that she's really in love. I want her to be in love. Speaking of Tinsley, I actually was on the Watch What Crappens Instagram live show the other night. On Monday night, they do a thing called Crappy Hour. And if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you have listened to Watch What Crappens. And if you haven't, pull the car over, go check them out now. I can't even believe I'm saying that. I know you know who they are. So anyways, it was a really big deal the other day. I was just home on a Monday night. They were going to do their Crappy Hour. I don't always join an Instagram live, but I just was home that night and feeling fun. And like I said, going into BRAVOCon, I've really got Bravo on the mind. So I wanted to participate in this Instagram live. So they had put an Instagram post out just being like, hey guys, we're doing Crappy Hour later. Submit some questions. Like, what do you guys want to talk about? I put a little post on there listing a few things like, are you going to be recapping Winter House? And I think I asked why they weren't going to BravoCon. I had just a couple questions for them, which I actually got some answers to those things. And I just was answering questions. You kind of just put it out there, not ever thinking anything of it. Like, I thought, that would be cool if they read my question on the Crappy Hour. That would be cool. So I'm sitting there and I'm kind of half paying attention. Like, Captain Lee was on there and he was talking about how he's doing a one-man show in over the BravoCon at the Westgate in Vegas, which is hilarious to me and also makes so much sense because he's like friends with the Seagulls, which, if you don't remember, the Queen of Versailles, that's a whole other story. The Queen of Versailles. I think that there's actually a Broadway show. I need to go see this. I have to go see the show. But Captain Lee was on there. They were talking. And then Ronnie and Ben were like, hey, let's do a couple questions, from our viewers before we go into having like our next guest. And I'm sitting there. I actually think that I was maybe feeding my dog or something, like, in the moment. I wasn't even really paying attention. And they all of a sudden are connecting me. I look at my phone and my phone is connecting to the Instagram live and they're calling me in. They're like, Bella Talks TV, come on in. Like, let's talk to you. What are you talking about tonight? What are you thinking about? And all of a sudden my face and everything connected right into the Instagram live. And I was talking to Ben and Ronnie and I actually blacked out. And there were so many ways I could have handled this. I should have been better prepared. I had such a good opportunity there to talk and like have a good conversation with them, but instead we just talked about my dog and we talked about Captain Lee and Carl a little bit because they have such a close relationship and Carl's been MIA ever since him and Lindsay called off the wedding. They were supposed to be getting married November something, so within the next like 3 to 4 weeks was their wedding date. So as somebody who's also a destination wedding girly, that gives me a lot of stress and anxiety thinking about them calling off their wedding. But I wanted to just see what Captain Lee would say about that stuff. We didn't even really get a chance to get into that because, like I said, Ben and Ronnie, we just started going off on random tangents and really didn't cover anything about Bravo. And then the weirdest thing happened. Ronnie was like, wow, we have 666, like 666 viewers watching the Instagram live right now. That's so creepy. And he kind of said that to me when I was like on the live with him, talking to him. And I was like, ooh, that's weird. But I'm like, I'm going to take that as a good sign. Like maybe everything's just aligning for us to be here tonight. And we kind of like made a joke about it. But then that night, I reposted the video and was like, it was so much fun. Watch what happens. Like, thanks for having me on Instagram Live. I had the best time talking to you guys. Like, what an honor. And then I brought up like, I posted the clip of Ronnie being like, oh, it was 666. And then I put like, I hope we didn't open a portal to housewife hell as like a joke. Ben went to the hospital that night. Like he got appendicitis and now has been in the hospital, and Ronnie's been having to do the podcast by himself and having like Ryan Bailey and stuff fill in this week. So just the whole situation was really weird. I feel like I flew maybe a little too close to the podcasting sun there for a minute, and I caused like a glitch in the matrix. Like I was not supposed to be there. So just wanted to share that experience too. That I just was thinking about that when we were talking about Tinsley, because we also had like made a couple jokes about Tinsley, and I was just lolling with Ben and Ronnie about Tinsley. Just the whole situation was so insane. So I'm going to also, if you haven't checked that out on my Instagram, please go watch the video reclip of that. Because that was a crazy experience, kind of virtually meeting them and then everything that's happened since then. So, okay, anyways, let's get into my LOL and my OMG moment of the week, because of course here I am rambling off about everything and I'm already like halfway through my show. So I really just appreciate you guys for being here again. And I know this is only the third episode, but every week it's going to get better and more consistent and more funny, I hope. And I'll be more comfortable, and I just appreciate you being here and listening to me still. So getting into my LOL of the week, it was actually kind of hard to find laugh out loud funny moments. Like I said, all of the shows this week were really dark. Like I felt like Plathville, dark as hell, divorce, like things going on in that family, not great. Real Housewives of Orange County ended on a very dark note, like substance abuse and rehab and the children. So it was really hard with that. Married at First Sight, also really dark this week. It started off the season premiere with the weddings, and already one of the guys gets left at the altar, and it's extremely heartbreaking. Like that rejection, I don't know what I would do. So really, really dark. But I did find a couple moments. I found two funny moments. So one of them was Craig, Southern Charm. Craig opening that bottle of red wine. I mean, it is true. I don't know if it was Queens of Bravo or somebody who posted. They were like, we've all been there. Okay, we have all been there. We have all tried to open a wine bottle and ended up using a shoe, using a hammer, finding out, turning it upside down, whittling away until there's cork and then just drinking the wine with the cork in it because you're like, well, I have to do it. It is what it is. So we've all been there. But watching Craig open the wine was hilarious. Watching Roddy, I know he hasn't really been like that big part of the show yet. Maybe he was obviously brought on to be more of the drama, but then as things unfolded with, we haven't even seen all of it yet. We're only 4 or 5 episodes into Southern Charm. It's been a crazy season so far. But with him coming in, with Roddy coming in, his reactions have been funny to everybody. He seems like a funny guy. And he was just watching Craig open that bottle of wine. It was getting everywhere. He was like, bro, let me come in and help you out. So funny. I was laughing pretty hard at that. And then also another funny moment I posted online about was Uba at the Bryant Park Winter Village bumper cars. That was hilarious to me. Even though she has been, I don't know how I feel totally about her yet, because she seems a little, I don't know. It's really, really hard to put your finger on it. There is something off there. And from what I've heard or what I've really read online and stuff, what people have been talking about is that she is pretty diva-licious behind the scenes. And she can, ruffle feathers and stuff. So I'm glad I got to see a light side of her at the bumper cars. That was really funny when she was like, woo, like spinning around in the bumper cars and then going through the barrier. And everybody being like, you cannot come back here, like her getting kicked out and stuff. That was pretty funny. So found a couple of moments to laugh at this week. Overall, it was hard to find some of those moments, but the Craig moment definitely for sure was hilarious. And then for my OMG moment of the week, this was an easy one because everybody was talking about this online, including Page Six, the New York Post. I guess, I don't know, are we still cool with the New York Times? I found a couple of people online, Not Skinny, Not Fat. She was like, we're done with the New York Times. So I guess we're done with them. But anyways, a lot of people were posting about this story, which is totally non-related to any of the other of the reasons why New York Times is being canceled. But this was Special Forces. So again, they get me with the OMG moments every week. Is this the third week in a row where I've been like, OMG, Special Forces? Maybe. But this episode was so insane. This was the episode where they actually had to just fight each other. They were like, okay, let's just have you guys wrestle with gear on and just punch the shit out of each other. And it got pretty graphic. Jack Osborne, it finally got down to the final round where Sandoval ended up, getting his ass beat by Jack Osborne, which was, I think, much needed and kind of therapeutic and cathartic for all of America watching him get punched. But it was actually the OMG after. It wasn't even him getting punched in the face and bleeding that was making me OMG. It was him in the bathroom afterwards, and everybody knew that he was crying and shitting at the same time. I mean, not ideal. Not ideal to be doing that on national television when you're already pretty unliked. I mean, I guess that's probably why they did that. They were like, well, everybody hates this guy. Like, maybe he deserves this, which he did say that. Actually, that's funny. That comes full circle when he was in his little, I always say little, like it's cute, his little interrogation. No, when they put the thing over the face and they take him and they ask him questions on the show, but the staff asks him. And they're like, why are you doing this? And he's like, because I deserve it. I'm kind of punishing myself. So maybe they were like, okay, fine. If this guy really wants to be punished, we'll also just show America him crying and pooping, because it really doesn't get worse than that. So those were my LOL and OMG moments of the week. Hilarious, insane. And I can't believe that I watch this stuff every week. And I keep tuning back in. So let's see what's going to happen on Special Forces next week and Housewives. Okay, and let's get into why we're all here, my top 5 countdown of what I could gather everybody was talking about from reality TV this week, spanning all universes, all cinematic universes, the Bravo cinematic universe, all the way over to Lifetime, TLC, you name it, ABC, Hulu, we're going there. But coming in at number 5, we're dipping our toes back into the Netflix cinematic universe and talking about the Love is Blind reunion. So we made it to the end of this season, which was one of the most chaotic Love is Blind seasons yet. Houston, I have to say, I just don't think that this one's going to go down as anyone's favorite season. Let's just put it that way. Milton and Lydia did tie the knot, and they are still together today, but reportedly, don't live in the same state. She's in Texas. I think he's in California now. Again, yes, mature but young. Lydia is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. I don't know if this is a match made in heaven or if this is just a match made in reality TV gold. Time will tell. But everybody has been talking about the reunion and really just in general the chaotic nature of the show in general and just how everybody ended up being together. Another big thing that everyone is talking about is Izzy. Izzy has been really making his round on all of the podcast circuits. He was on Vile Files. I think that they had him on. Oh, he was on Ryan Bailey's podcast. I actually liked him on there, but Ryan is always just good to get a good overview on somebody's personality because he makes people feel very comfortable, but he does not press them to get anything, too dirty, which I like. That's why people like him. He's not on there to get tea. He's on there to have a conversation and let people tell their side of the story. So I liked him on there, but overall, I did not see them ending up together either. Stacey, I think, is a little too big for her britches. I don't think that she came off all that great. And Iggy, he comes off, or Izzy comes off a little bit better. He does. He comes off like he maybe, he's in a relationship now. It seems like he can look back and kind of laugh and appreciate the situation for what it was. And he's kind of coming out looking a little bit better than she does here. So all in all, not my favorite season. I don't think that anything really compares to the season that they had with Cole and Zanab. That was a good season. That was dramatic AF. So Love is Blind. Hate to see you go, but I love to watch you leave because I want to see some new people come into the pods. So can't wait for the next season. My number 4, coming in at number 4 on my list of the most talked about moments, is something that just happened on Thursday. I talked about House of Villains on E last week a little bit, but this week it was a new episode where they finally are getting to their first elimination. It's going to be actually the 3rd episode where we see who goes. I think we all can tell from last week's cliffhanger who is going to go, but this so Tiffany Pollard was on Watch What Happens live with Andy and Craig, which is why I think I almost said Crappens. She was on Watch What Happens with Craig, and she did say sorry to Jax for this moment, but this is a pretty big talked about moment for the week for me anyway. This is pretty crazy. I don't think people realize how big of a deal this is yet. But it comes down to the first elimination, and it's up between, and this is House of Villains on E. If you haven't watched it yet, episode 2 out now. They are going to their first elimination ceremony, and it's Corinne and Jax. Corinne from Bachelor, Olympios, and Jax Taylor. Jax, number 1 guy in the group, Taylor. And they're up to be the first 2 eliminated from the House of Villains. And everybody has to cast their vote, and they go up and they say something. And Omarosa is the supervillain of the week, so she's kind of there to be the overseer of the elimination. And Tiffany goes to say her kind of piece, and she starts going off on Jax. And she's like, "You're a demon. You are dark." And she just really, I think that's because that she has an alliance with Corinne, and she knew that she had to get Jax out. That's just how the games work. You have to have strategy. Jax didn't do himself any favors. If you watch the episode, there's a conversation between Jax and Shake that just literally did shake me to my core. Just watching them interact with each other, it gives me bad vibes. But good for TV. I'm here talking about it. Everyone else is talking about it. But seeing Jax and Shake on TV and just this whole show is very interesting. So we don't actually know who goes home next week, but we will see what happens. But that was my number 4 most talked about moment, is Tiffany Pollard calling Jax Taylor a demon. I mean, that should be the number 1 moment, to be honest. Number 3 most talked about moment, we're moving down south, Charleston, for the number 3 moment for Southern Charm. This was a really sad episode. I think everybody can see what a dark and hard time this was for everybody in the entire crew of the show, because it seems like Olivia, although only there for a few seasons, has ties with this group of friends for years further back than when she's been on the show. So it sounds like I think Leva's friends with her parents, and maybe that also was a connection. We obviously know Whitney is the executive producer, and him and Patricia. I think Patricia might be friends with her family too. So the Flowers family, I think, in Charleston is a big family there. And so when this week's episode came, I actually was confused. So remember that a couple episodes in Southern Charm when Taylor confronts Olivia about kissing Austin, and she said she had just lied to her face basically and been like, "I swear nothing happened." And then Olivia gets in the car, starts crying. I actually had thought that her brother had already passed away and that they just had, out of respect, not shown it on the show. So when Olivia was going through this stuff with Taylor, I was like, okay, maybe it's actually not about Austin. Maybe she's sad about her brother passing away, and then this is making her extra emotional about this. But no, this stuff happened with Austin and Taylor before her brother passed away. Then her brother passes away on this last week's episode, and that too is also a very mysterious thing. If you go online, like, I think we all know how the internet works now. It's not a mystery. You can kind of bury things. You can also put your own story out there. And then if you put it out there enough times, like if you Google something, that's going to be what pops up. So I don't want to speculate or anything. I just want to say that there are conflicting stories about maybe why he passed. Now, another thing regarding this is that we haven't seen this yet either, and I don't know if this is also going to be on the show or if this happened after they stopped filming, but we will see. But we will come to see what happens when Taylor's brother also passes away suddenly. So now Austin's sister, Olivia's brother, and Taylor's brother have all passed away. So this is really a really hard and tragic dark cloud that hangs over this cast, and in a sick way is bonding them and trauma bonding them together. But it's just really hard to see play out. I did not think we were going to see this. I really thought that they were going to like edit around it or not mention it. And no, they're showing all of it. And Olivia's so vulnerable. My brother, I mean, just, to put it out there, I think it's important that everybody knows that every family has family members that struggle or have anything ranging from mental health to substance abuse to just anything that could happen. Even some people just have family members that they just don't talk to because they just don't get along. So every family has drama, trauma, things going on. And for them to be brave enough to show theirs on TV, it really is making me appreciate Bravo in a different light than the normal Housewives drama and the bullshit that we're typically talking about. This is a really deep and sad thing that they're all going through. And for them to show, I mean, watching Austin cry on his kitchen floor, I mean, the man looked rough. Like it was not faking. That wasn't like, crocodile tears. So that was a big moment this week on TV. Still talking about it, still thinking about it, and sending love to all of their families that have been affected by those tragedies. The number 2 most talked about moment of the week is Salt Lake City. We're going to touch here on this Twitter beef that really opened up after last week's episode aired, where when Monica left Angie's house, apparently she had fallen down the stairs. She was pretty badly bruised, and ended up having to go right to the emergency room, which is why it seems like that argument that included her mother at the end of the episode. Yes, Linda, LD, they call her. I think, am I wrong? Is her ex name, Twitter name, is it LD Millionaire? Okay. KLD Millionaire. They got into a little bit of an altercation last week, and just that whole episode too, really dark. Did not like it. I did not laugh. I think one time that whole episode, and but it was a very talked about moment. Obviously, they're all online still going on and on about what the truth is. Like, where did the rumor start? And then Monica was on Watch What Happens Live with Andy, and Andy asked her again, point blank, where did you hear this? Where did it come from, Meredith, or did you hear it from the streets? We need to know. She will not clarify, and she said she's saving it for the reunion, and we're all waiting on the edge of our seats to really find out. Like, I'm kind of loving the season still. I think this is making people like kind of turn on Monica a little bit, but I'm still really loving this season. It's my favorite show on Bravo right now. It's my favorite reality show that's on Tuesday nights. I'm running to get to my TV in time, so they're doing everything right in my eyes, but still a little dark. And I really do not like seeing anybody fight with their moms. We love a messy mom, a funny mom, a Mama Elsa, but we don't like a fight. We don't want any of the moms on here competing for the snowflake. Got to leave the snowflake in to the daughters. And now we're here already at my number 1 moment of the week. And for me, I'm actually really sad to say that we're at the end of the first season of the reboot of RHONY. I have really, really enjoyed not only just living in New York during the time of the resurgence and like seeing the city back on TV and feeling in love with New York City and seeing it. Like, I posted a little meme last week that was the picture of Uba and Aaron sitting at Bryant Park with the Empire State Building in the back. It was just such a beautiful shot. I love seeing New York on my TV with Housewives. But the whole finale really, everyone was like, oh, what a bad finale. I actually thought there were a lot of really good parts. Like I said, I was laughing out loud at Uba at Bryant Park on the bumper cars. I really enjoyed the part where Jessel was at her apartment. Like, she can shoot iconic scenes just on the couch with her husband, and that is exactly what makes her a housewife. An iconic housewife that will go down in history. Also, she's on Rolling Stone. I don't know if I talked about that last week or if that's came out since then, but that was so good. So good. But that scene where she's with Pavitt and she's like, they're obsessed with me. They can just sit in their little sad Tribeca corner and be obsessed with me. And then she's like, it's like Eminem's Stan. Like, that was so funny. It is like Eminem's Stan. She's like, they are really writing them letters, watching their every move. They are Jessel Stans. So I loved that part. And then I actually am still living for the drama with the husbands. Not Pavitt so much. I think he's proven his point and he's just an icon now. But with David apologizing to Uba for kind of saying like, you need a man, or kind of being like, why are you single? And him getting called out for that and being like, this is going to be a teachable moment. And then Sai getting mad at her for that because she's basically like, how dare you on camera, say that my husband's like not a good guy. So then you see Sai's claws come out at Uba. Then they expose the boyfriend in Connecticut, which am I the only one who's like, is it 50 Cent? Is there any chance it's 50 Cent? Like, I know that he's a well-known Connecticut resident and that I could just see them together. I don't know. I need a Uba Hot Vitamin Water collab coming out. BravoCon by BravoCon collab. I don't know. I thought the finale was good. Yes, they all got a little drunk and sloppy at Bryn's birthday. I listened to Bryn on Give Them Lala, and she said she was blacked out. She was like, I don't even really remember like the end of my birthday party. So it's no surprise that the end of the show ended up a little sloppy there in the last 10 minutes. But all in all, this season I loved. I can't wait for the reunion. I see tears are shed. It doesn't seem like Bryn and Sai are on speaking terms, but I also just don't trust that. I don't know. They're scheming. So we'll see what happens with that. That was my number one moment of the week, though. I think all in all, we still had lots to talk about this week. Yes, a little dark, a little sad, not so many laughing, rolling on the floor, laughing my ass off moments, but that's what the Golden Bachelor's for. I didn't get a chance again to talk about it that much this week because even though it's not having these huge, memeable, viral moments, it's just a good, feel-good, lighthearted watch. So if you're not watching The Golden Bachelor on Thursdays, it's only an hour long, and these women are to die for. I'm obsessed with all of them, and I want them all to find love. I want them all to marry Jerry and Gary Jerry. I want them all to end up with him, and just Cody Brown style it, Sister Wives it up. So that's my hot take of the week. I leave you all on that note. And again, I'm hoping to record another episode before going to BravoCon next week, really getting hyped up. So it might come out a little bit earlier than usual. And again, if you're going, please send me a DM and let me know. I really want to meet up with you and hang out and meet as many people as I can and make as many friends as I can out in Vegas. And I appreciate everybody being here and giving me a chance, listening to me and my crazy opinions. And I hope that each week we just get to know each other better and grow this bond together more and more. And there would be no Bella Talks TV without you. So thank you for being here and listening and supporting me. Please rate this 5 stars and leave a little comment or a review so people can know that this is a safe space to come and talk about Bravo. All right. I love everybody and have a good weekend. Ciao, Bellas. Bella Talks TV is recorded, edited, and produced by me, Amanda Bella. You can follow me at Bella Talks TV on Instagram and TikTok. And please also be sure to email me any questions or if you want to work together in any way at bellatalkstv@gmail.com.